claims to use makeup to hide her bruises. She claims to have makeup in these pictures. Elaine Bredenhoft, Amber's attorney, in her opening statement, held up a specific makeup palette she said Amber used to hide her alleged bruises throughout the relationship up until 2016. The makeup company that makes that palette, Milani Cosmetics, released a video on their official TikTok account detailing that makeup palette wasn't released until December 2017.
Now, you also heard them say that all kinds of people saw Amber that week, and she didn't have any bruises on her face. Well, let me show you this. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp. This was what she used. She became very adept at it. You're going to hear the testimony from Amber about how she had to mix the different colors for the different days of the bruises as they developed in the different coloring, and how she would use these to touch those up to be able to cover those.
A month later, more selfies taken by Amber somehow start to find their way to magazine pages. In the trial, Amber would use the makeup excuse when she's confronted with pictures and videos of her. During times she said she had severe injuries to her face, like possible broken nose, swellings, slashes to her lips, forehead, and body. Injuries she claims Johnny gave her using his chunky, ring-filled hands.
He said your nose was swollen, discolored, red.
That is correct.
This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp at the event the night after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought he had broken your nose.
He did whack me in the face, and I did think it broke my nose.
And this is you the night after.
Yes, it is.
And you have no visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
Even though Mr. Depp whacked you in the face so hard that your nose bled?
He did.
While wearing chunky, big rings.
That's correct.
I probably had a concussion, and certainly that I had a broken nose. There was blood everywhere. My head was bleeding from the ripped out hair, chunks of hair on the floor, all over the place, actually.
Yes, exactly.
You had 2 black eyes after this incident, right?
I did.
And you testified that you also had a busted lip from when Mr. Depp punched you.
From December, yes, that's correct.
You testified that the lip wound kept reopening when you moved your mouth.
That's correct.
And that you had, quote, gross, pussy, and, quote, bruising around your temple.
In my scalp, yeah.
And bruising on your chin.
Correct.
You appeared on the James Corden show the day after this alleged incident, right?
I did.
And that was December 16th, 2015?
Yes, that's correct.
These are pictures of you on the James Corden show on December 16th, 2015, right, Ms. Heard?
From that appearance, yes.
With a split lip.
You've seen pictures of it without makeup. Yes.
So you had a split lip when you were
sure
moving
did.
your mouth that way.
Absolutely.
The pictures after these alleged violent attacks and the multiple audios that are available contradicted the victim persona Amber painted on the stand.
To prevent him from dragging me into the room, but I couldn't stop him. He dragged me all the way from that carpet. I was trying to get free of his grasp.
Johnny's face in the trial was full of bewilderment while listening to Amber recounting those alleged assaults.
Bottom metal floor that separated it is a big, heavy bank door. And I remember he was dragging me.
Amber hasn't presented any medical treatment of the gruesome injuries she claims Johnny has been inflicting on her over the years, despite having easy access to medical professionals, at times in the same house. The photos of Johnny's injuries and bruises have all been taken by other people, and he has extensive medical records, whereas Amber seems to only have selfies, with the exception of when the paparazzi were alerted to go to court on May 27th.
She walked into court with a visible mark on her face, not wearing makeup that day. Do you recognize these photographs?
I do.
And how do you recognize them?
Because I took them.
And why did you take these photographs?
I took them to show proof that he once again had injuries sustained.
And it would be unbelievable to imagine that either I'm in a secret fight club, or B, I've had
a secret what?
I've had a secret fight club or that I have been plotting to do this for 3 years, and while taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember.
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that this picture shows.
And there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either,
That's correct. I did not seek medical attention.
despite hitting you several times that you lost count with rings on on his fingers.
That's correct.
And you testified you felt like your lip went through your teeth and it got a little blood on the wall.
Yes.
There isn't a picture of you with injuries after that alleged incident, is there?
I don't know if I've seen one. I can't recall. There are a lot of pictures.
Some of the pictures Amber claims she took at different times look exactly like the same picture, but with different saturations, like this one from May 21st.
The one on the left has the vanity light, the makeup lights, the more yellow-hued ones that go around the mirror on, and then the one on the right looks like it doesn't have those.
Isn't it true you just edited these photographs?
No, I've never edited a photograph.
Didn't you just enhance the saturation from one of these photos to make your face look more red?
No, that's incorrect. I didn't touch it.
Digital forensic expert Brian Neumeister confirms the manipulation in Amber's photos.
Mr. Neumeister, what do we see here in this demonstrative?
There are two separate exhibits, except it's the exact same photograph one's been edited, one hasn't. The colors have been modified in an editor.
Amber also submitted what looks like the exact same picture evidence for two alleged incidents that happened months apart.
Okay.
And do you see that you testified that defendant's exhibit 512, which is on the screen,
Yes,
is a picture of the downstairs of the main apartment?
that's correct.
Number 512 was admitted into evidence in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
I just need to orient myself because I'm just looking at a picture of a partial picture of a
Ms. Heard, you didn't just look at a picture. You looked at your testimony. Do you see that you're testifying that defendant's exhibit 725, which is reflected on the right side, reflects spilled wine on the floor in penthouse 5?
That's correct.
Okay. And defendant's exhibit 512 and 725 seem to be different versions of the same picture, don't they?
That's correct.
Okay. So which is it? Which one was taken on December 15th, 2015, or May 21st, 2016?
If you remove the redacted metadata, you can find out. It's right there.
Or if you're telling the truth, you would know.
But no one is going to believe that. No one is going to believe that one of the two alternatives, either I have Fight Club, or I've been going through hair and makeup or going through makeup through all these years where I have corroborating text messages between people that match those dates of those timestamps validated photos.
Eventually, Johnny caved in, and after 15 months of marriage, Amber ended up with a $7 million divorce settlement, which she announced she donated to the Children's Hospital of LA and the ACLU. Amber would then go on TV bragging about having done so.
And then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money. But then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States.
Yeah.
It's called the American Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard
I wanted
of.
nothing.
A sweeping number of major publications highlighted and focused on the fact that she donated the money. 6 years later, they still haven't received the $7 million.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the
Ms.
settlement,
Heard,
$7
that's
million
not my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Heard,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard,
those
Ms.
obligations.
Heard, that's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard, I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Heard, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to. Is that correct?
I
Ms. Heard?
disagree with your characterization of that.
What Johnny says in his testimony about Amber's confusion tactics appear to manifest itself again in this instance.
The argument would start here, and then it would roll around and become this circular thing of its own. So you get back to the beginning, essentially, of the argument. Now it's heightened even more, but it's still circular, and there's no way in or out.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, unquote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. You testified under oath the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
Why are you
Threw the cans at me in Australia.
Why are you trying to justify who throws things based on
Because
whether or not
that-
you come knocking on the door? I don't
Because
get
that
why
is a
one
fucking
informs the other.
irrational and violent fucking maneuver.
So as of today, you have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it.
Not only did Amber not pay the organizations she said she donated the $7 million to, but she prevented Johnny from directly donating it to them. Ultimately, only Johnny Depp made a sizable donation, and Amber kept the money from the settlement to herself.
Do with that privilege what women without that privilege cannot.
Amber appears to have a habit of broadcasting an image of benevolence to the world, but in private she appears to live the contrary of that image.
You're the most spoiled fucking brat. And you got everybody out here almost full, but it don't last long.
You're right.
I've been here a lot longer
You're
than
right.
you.
You got it
Because
figured out.
You don't have figure out what you have to offer as opposed to going out and get your tits out.
You're right. That's what I do.
In this video she captured for her social media, she appears to wrestle a baby who just received medical care away from reluctant nurses, then proceeds to pose with him for the flashing cameras. Disregarding any medical privacy. It's not hard to see the confusion on these parents' faces that their baby is not being handed to them by a medical professional and explaining to them how the care went, but instead by a celebrity repeating in broken Spanish, "Look how beautiful he is."
With Hollywood's sex abuse scandal growing by the day, hundreds rallied today to raise awareness.
In late 2017, the Hollywood version of the Me Too movement picked up huge steam, toppling powerful men in the media who perpetrated sexual crimes, most notably Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby. It was a time to clean up the entertainment industry. The Me Too movement would then morph into being more about equal pay and opportunities in Hollywood for women.
Hollywood.
We are more united as an industry than we have ever been.
I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it.
They are back to not nominating women across the board other than Best Actress, right? And if they could nominate men for Best Actress, they would. So yes, the Academy has incredible power, and the more their members vote for women as opposed to just guys who are their drinking buddies, which is really what it is. It's always traditionally been men who are their drinking buddies.
This was a far cry from what Tarana Burke, the creator of the movement, had in mind when she created the Me Too movement in the early 2000s after working with young black girls and underprivileged victims of sexual violence.
It's bigger than Hollywood.
Way bigger than Hollywood. It's an epidemic. It's a worldwide epidemic.
Again, Amber would seize the opportunity to insert herself in the conversation, speaking about violence against women, because according to her, she has, quote, the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse.
Male-dominated power structure. Fearless speech.
On December 15th, 2018, 2 years after she walked into court to get the restraining order against Johnny, the biggest movie Amber has been on to date, Aquaman, is released. And in a move that appears planned to capitalize on the Me Too movement for self-promotion, 3 days after the release of Aquaman on December 18th, an op-ed she wrote is published in the Washington Post. In it, Amber claims that 2 years prior, she became a representative of domestic abuse. And for the first time, she claims to have been a victim of sexual abuse in a medium such as the Washington Post. This case appears to be full of curious coincidences. 3 days after the release of Amber's biggest movie, her article came out, and May 27th, 2016, the day she walked into court for the restraining order, was the same day that Johnny's Alice Through the Looking Glass was released. Amber's article is what would prompt Johnny to sue her in 2019 for the defamatory implications that stemmed from that op-ed. In a business where one trades on their image and reputation, movie business analysts during the trial would demonstrate how the op-ed hampered Johnny's ability to earn a living, with cautious movie studios rightfully wanting to protect their own reputation by removing liabilities like Harvey Weinstein, especially during the height of the Me Too movement.
Between December 18th, 2018, which is the date that Ms. Heard's op-ed appeared, and October 2020, to what extent, if any, did Mr. Depp perform in any studio films?
Zero. No studio films.
Mr. Jack Wiggum, a talent manager for Johnny, explains how after the op-ed, it was impossible to book him a studio film.
With respect to Johnny, it was catastrophic because it was coming from, a first-person account. It was not from a journalist. It was not from someone observing. It was from someone saying, this happened to me.
When asked about what he lost because of the sexual assault accusations, Johnny explains.
And then you've got your family, you've got your kids, you've got your parent. My mom, thankfully, didn't get to read any of this, because that would have killed her. But my father, my family, everyone that I've met, the people that have supported me, suddenly I'm scum. Why? Never had to happen. One little lie.
On June 1st, 2022, after having deliberated for a few days since the lengthy 6-week trial ended, where a jury in Fairfax, Virginia looked at mountains of evidence, they found that Amber Heard maliciously and knowingly manufactured false claims about her ex-husband of 15 months, Johnny Depp. They punished her by ordering her to pay $5 million in punitive damages and $10 million in compensatory damages from the lost income he would have earned if she hadn't defamed him.